honest. So you guys were elbow deep in boar guts, a boar which you just killed. Um, let me tell you, I mean, the whole kitchen is covered in blood. You're definitely gonna need a change of clothes and a shower after the work is done, and it's gonna take you a couple of hours to get everything sorted. Thank God for the freezer, but I mean, that place will need purging with fire. Where is Raphael and Megan?
I was at the rooftop looking over the surroundings, and I think Raphael was holding the ladder or something.
So Megan, you.
I was just gonna, just for the heck of it, how big is the chimney? Like, is it like a small pipe that goes up, or is it like an actual, like, Santa Claus chimney?
It's an actual Santa Claus chimney. It's brick and mortar, and you can't put your hands around it.
Okay. Can I, like, peer over it and see if there is, like, a bird's nest in it? It shouldn't be, because we have already cooked, I think. But maybe not by the actual fireplace. There's a fireplace, yes, so this is not connected to the modern kitchen.
I mean, you can peer down, and it's going to be a little bit dark and far away, but...
Yeah, I'm not actually expecting to see all the way through.
Well, you can pretty much make out that, yeah, this is not part of the fireplace. I mean, there's no... it doesn't feel like warm air has been coming through here. And it's also very clean, actually. It doesn't seem like it's been ever used.
Okay. And there is absolutely no direction that seems more preferable than the other one in the forest.
No, you look across all of the horizon, and everything is exactly identical in every direction you look. There's no hills, mountains, sun, clouds, any distinction amongst the trees or anything like that that you can make.
And straight up there is like one cloud, or
no,
there's no clouds.
No clouds, not a single cloud on the sky, just a dim light.
I already have used my scope last session, but
yes, sorry, I forgot.
But I think there was like still the same thing, like just like a tree and nothing. This will explain why we don't have Wi-Fi. Okay. I can't come up with anything else to do up here.
All right.
I shout from below. Do you see any paths or roads from there?
No, it's thick forest in every single direction. There is not even a road. Nothing.
I think I had my gun with me, right?
Sure.
I was thinking. I ask Megan out loud. Do you think it's a good idea to fire a shot and see if anything reacts? To see if there are either people around or how much animal life would be scared.
Well, we did fire the boar for like, I don't know, half an hour ago, and no one has showed up because of that.
All right.
I can also tell that you do hear some chirping of the birds.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. So we know that there is animals here.
You know, I just completely forgotten that I do have soundtrack for this place. Let's just put that on.
Twilight music. But for some reason, the only thing I heard was the X-Files in my head. So I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Can anybody hear anything?
I hear.
Okay, so it's just me that's so very, very clear.
I'm like... I am having like... thoughts about like the Truman Show, and it's like if I just toss a rock, it's gonna like bounce over from a wall that's just been cleverly painted, but I don't have anything to throw.
Well, you know,
I'm throwing the grenade.
But Raphael just offered you to shut the gun, so if that's your theory, that would be a thing to try.
Yeah, that's true. How likely is it that the bullet comes down and kill one of us?
Extremely unlikely.
Yeah. Well,
I'll roll a 1d million, and if it rolls a 0, it'll...
A 0? Well, then in that case... well, Raphael, can you just try and shoot, like... sort of like straight up, but not straight up?
I fire in the direction she's pointing at.
What? There's no such a thing as a D-million? Okay, let's see. How do you roll in Roll20 now again?
/R space 1D100 or 1D million.
1,000
It's still
million.
gonna be really hard for you to roll a 0.
Nope. Well, that's a nice number, but
Yeah,
Isn't
it
that-
just goes away and we never see it again. Does it hit something like boing, boing?
okay. So Raphael pulls his gun out of wherever he's keeping it, and then does the safety precautions and fires up a shot. So the bullet.
Do we hear the shot?
Yes.
I don't know. There's another person with a gun in here, so
If nothing else, a random gunshot was fired. So
Yes,
yeah, we
so
probably
I-
drop
I-
everything, run out.
and I,
Well, I'm not sure we actually closed the door, and you might have heard us yelling to each other, and I don't know.
Guys, low or high?
Hi.
Hi. Oh wait, you say hi, I say low. One of us
No,
will
you both have to say the same thing.
Oh.
You said high, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can actually see from the kitchen window the figure of Raphael with a handgun in his hand. So it's sure the gunshot startles you, but it's not a.
I think it's more like if we don't hear the conversation, we just see Raphael going. What the fuck is he doing?
So anyway, I would like to explain to what happens. He fires up the shot. The bullet is obviously invisible because it's not a tracer round, and it just doesn't have any effect, unfortunately.
But now we're both deaf.
Well, what caliber is your gun, Raphael?
I have no idea. It's a light handgun.
Okay, light handgun I would venture is not a Magnum, so I'm probably something like you were used to shooting at the pistol club. So let's say it's the police caliber. So that's really that's not really a problem for unprotected use. Which is surprised me in real life.
Nonetheless,
okay,
I probably scream at them like, "What the hell? What's happening? Why
We're
did you
doing
shoot?"
science! I'm gonna write it down!
I shake my head and keep assisting Volkov.
Yeah, well, I
That's
don't
not
think
gun safe. That's not- Someone should teach that young man gun safety. I was taught you only shoot when you want to kill someone.
Maybe he attacked the darkness. What do you know?
Well, I guess I'm climbing down because there don't seem to be anything interesting up here. Like, if Raphael wants to go up and take a look, I can hold the ladder for you.
No, it's fine. Let's go back inside.
Alright.
So you enter the house and you see two figures covered from top to toe in blood.
So
And
there
other
there
gross
are
things.
no, kitchen attire thingy.
You can have an apron.
Yeah, thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
Yes. And use your imagination as to how much the apron actually helps.
Huh. Some.
Yes, it's a standard issue sort of kitchen apron that you could get an IKEA made of cloth.
Oh, please say it's like white.
Yes.
It's used to be.
It used to be white with a little bit of a flower pattern. The modern sort of vector graphic bongo people love now.
It probably smells really bad in here.
Oh yeah, the smell of blood is mixed with the smell of whatever that boar had in its intestines, which wasn't really done to be evacuated yet.
No,
So
but
it's-
just the smell of blood is pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you come in, Megan, and I see that you're affected, oh, sorry, maybe you should open up some windows.
yeah, I go and do that. Like, puh!
All right. The house is fully ventilated. Now, Raphael, I had a look at your character sheet and at the task that you had. You said you wanted to decode the hieroglyphs or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very difficult task. But I did notice that you had a loner trait, I believe it was, something that gave you the ability to work better when you're alone.
Yeah.
So I suggest that whenever you work at decoding that language or whatever, you go off and do that on your own. But that will also separate you from the group. So that's but that's you have a better chance of figuring it out in that situation.
Unless you want to ask for help from the guy who knows cryptography, but
Yeah.
Well, I would suggest then that I go and work alone, but that we have short meetings where we try to piece together our work and then continue in.
I can always try to steal your work when you're in breaks and review it. And then
Yeah.
just put a note.
Calm down there, munchkins.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Right. If you guys want to wait until the boar is done, it's not that you can tell the time. Besides what you have, the watches with you, but it's gonna take a couple of hours.
By the way, something we know the date that we had the accident. What time? Is it the same day as the accident on our various smartphones and computers?
It's the day after. Do we want to set a date for that? That might be cool for posterity.
We
2015, October 21.
No, I mean the date of the accident, which was spring.
Ah, damn it.
Let's say 2015 is the fine year. Spring.
Yeah.
Let's say May.
yeah, May 15th.
Does anybody object?
When was the Mayan calendar ending?
Ha.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
was
actually pretty good.
2012, but that was also in the autumn, I think.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, I wrote down May 15th. So today, according to your watches and whatnot, it's May 16th. Technical problems.
Well, while he's fiddling with that, I probably ask Megan and Raphael what they found out there.
Well, I went up on the roof, and unfortunately there is no signs of any road or any landmarks at all. It's just forest, deep, thick forest in every direction. Nothing.
No other structures.
No.
How about the tool shed and electrical?
I don't think I mentioned that first, but I would say that it's pretty obvious that I had something if I climbed the roof. I don't think that I personally would think that that was the interesting information, but I guess after a minute or two I would go oh, and by the way, there is an electronical machine at the back.
I don't know what that's called.
An electronical machine.
It's actually called an electrical box in English, apparently.
Okay, there is an electrical box at the back of the house, and there is a tool shed.
Oh, that's something we can use, I think. So, Dimitri, how many rations do you think we'll get out of this?
Quite a bit, I would say.
Well, you seem handy around the knife at least.
Yes, I am. Do you want me to roll a survival check and see how well it goes?
That sounds like a good idea.
Do I get any bonus for my assistant?
Well, if you the
Or do I
assistant
hinder him
succeeds-
more than
So what you guys want to do is you're gonna be rolling survival. Does Thorsten have anything?
I don't have anything in survival.
So
But
you
I
know.
mean, it just sort of helps having someone's oh, my hands are covered in blood. Could you please give me this? Could you please wash off that?
Yeah.
I
Hold
got-
this open while I cut that.
I can
Yeah.
give you the standard assistance of bonus of +1, and the difficulty of the roll is standard survival roll.
So 2.
If I remember correctly, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Bonus.
Excuse me?
No, I'm just so difficulty 2 and bonus 1. He doesn't decrease the difficulty. He just gives me plus one.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe I count as an asset.
Yes, exactly.
No,
That's what I was thinking.
An asset actually decreases the difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cooperative roles. They're yeah.
That went well.
Sorry, what did you actually roll?
I rolled 16.
Right. The difficulty was 5. No?
Yes.
Well, in essence, yes.
Oh, you mean like that? Okay. Well, let's say that you've managed to make 11 rations of food. So that should last you around.
For all of us, or like
Yeah, no, just 11 rations.
So like two days of food.
Ish.
Yeah, so I look at it like, this should last us for like a couple of days. So,
Really? Oh, well, I suppose.
well, there are some parts you can't really eat or you don't really want to eat. I point out that like that is really not tasty. That is not just not is that part will probably just make you sick. So you know.
I just assume that you like save like the heart and then go like.
Well, when I think about it,
Kalima!
maybe when I think about it, that must have been downplayed because you know the only experience I have with this was like we were eating a pig and that fed like a whole company of like 50, 40 people.
Then again, you can always say that my bullet like shattered many internal organs and made them like spoiled the.
But you still rolled a 20 on that shot.
I did. So that just mean it went
But
right
then again,
through it.
we're out to kill it and not making it like the best dish in the world.
I'm gonna up the amount of rations to 22, just double the amount of rations. So that should last you for like
Maybe
50.
that we don't have the possibility to store that much.
No, we.
I mean, we have a freezer, but are we just gonna put it like in the freezer?
It's fine. No, you have bags. You can store it in like. I mean, it's fine if I just say that I didn't think this through properly. It's not a problem. We don't need to take my first word.
Yeah. So I when I say this should last us for like 4 or 5 days, depending on how we eat.
And it's only meat, so.
Yeah. So we should probably try and see if there's any berries that look like what we're used to.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Well,
guys-
you know, if we see animals have eaten them, then we can assume they're not poisonous.
Just as we will assume that this meat is not poisonous.
Well, we ate
Point-
food from the fridge, so you know.
Point. Well, it's good at least we have some food when we go out and explore.
Well, at least we have water. However, I do feel that we should be a bit careful about the water because it could just be there's a water tank, and there aren't actual pipes and plumbing.
So what I hear you're suggesting you're not taking a shower.
Well, so I looked at Megan. You didn't see any kind of like lake or streams or any kind of water.
No,
That might
not even.
contain giant beasts that will be attracted by the smell of blood.
No, I only saw forest. But I
Well-
saw the treetops. I don't know, like if there is anything further down. I couldn't hear any running water, and we don't have any well on the property, at least.
We can always do what are they called? Was it what the astronauts do? They basically take a damp cloth and just wipe themselves off instead of showering.
So I mean, I don't want to be like I don't know, beer of bad news or be like pessimistic, but we have to be realistic. This place is weird.
That's a realistic term, yes.
It's very strange. And we don't know how much water we have. And food is important, but water is so much more important.
I'm just gonna check. Bengt, do you hear us okay and everything? Cool.
So until we find, you know, water that we can either filter or actual sweet water, let's try and not use too much water.
Okay.
Of course, if you disagree with me, you know,
You have a giant sword.
And you have a gun. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I say
it
covered
makes-
in blood.
makes sense.
By the way, you two do feel horribly disgusting. I mean, the blood is sticky, and you're not comfortable touching anything without.
No shit.
Yeah.
Should probably see if there's any, what do you call it, detergent? Any cleaning fluid?
Yeah,
Under the
Raphael or
sink.
Megan, if you could, do that, well, I don't really want to.
Yeah, fine. I search through the household.
Okay, now that we've sent out Megan from the room, we agree we eat her first.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah, you
this
can
embodied
try a
voice.
grenade and a scope. I'll see you coming.
Yeah, that.
Eat this.
Session 2, we have already derailed into cannibalism.
All right. Do I find anything?
Oh yeah, sure. The bathroom is well equipped. There's cleaning liquids for floors, for kitchens. There's soap, a shower gel, shampoo, a couple of towels.
Is it like an actual bottle of shampoo, or is it like a hotel with 4 little like we only had one set of food? Do we only have one set of soaps for showering?
It's like you would imagine would be a guest bathroom at a no, it will be a guest bathroom at somebody's house. So there's only one bottle of shampoo. It's not like a hotel, but it's fully stocked. You check out the bottles like for the contents, and they've never been opened before, so they're fully stocked, so to say.
Okay. I think I would actually still open, I choose the bottle I think would be suitable for the gentleman in the kitchen, and I would open it and I would press out ever so slightly from it so I know it's not actual rat poison in it.
Well, I mean, how are you gonna know if it's rat poison or not?
I probably can smell if it's feels like soap or not.
So you chose the one that's appropriate for the gentleman, so the oven cleaner, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Oh.
from the bathroom, the oven cleaner.
Yeah. Well, something strong. No, let's just say the shower gel, right?
Mm.
Yeah. No, it smells faintly of lavender.
Alright. Does it have ingredients written on the back, and is it in a language that I would understand?
Yeah, sure.
Is it a normal store-bought
It's
bottle?
it's a normal store-bought bottle of Palmolive shower gel that's European. You can tell because there's multiple languages in the back. Oh,
Alright.
and I don't mean Spanish and English. Well, there's Spanish, and English, but amongst the French, German, Italian, some Scandinavian language they like.
Well, they usually have SE-NO-DK
Exactly.
just as one.
Yeah, I know.
Well, okay, I make my choice, I smell it, and pour a drop of it on the sink to see it doesn't frettle.
No, it's fine.
I mean, I can't be too careful. And then I go back
You
to
horror movies.
and then I go back to the kitchen with it and go here you go, and do you want me to just squeeze it into your hands, or
You probably.
Well, we were hoping for some blood be gone, not shampoo.
No, it's not shampoo. It's shower
it's
gel.
not that kind
Shower,
of
oh,
clothes.
shower gel. I mean, hoping for some.
I think they had bleach. Do you want that?
Well, I don't know, something that dissolves blood better or helps us. Do they have a mop?
They probably have a mop, but I'm not so
Dissolve.
sure.
Oh, I'm pretty sure water does the trick.
Megan, I think you should start saying we probably have a mop, because I sort of shrug. This is probably our place now.
You live here now. This is your life now.
Well, that's very unsettling, actually.
You don't say.
Well, this entire thing is unsettling. As far as I'm concerned, we died. A black hole opened and we died. And now we're here.
Well, if that was a black hole, shouldn't we have all died?
This is probably some kind of version of that Lost series.
Oh god, I,
I
hope
never
not.
watched that.
Does that mean there's a polar bear outside? That's the only thing I know about that show. There's a polar bear, right?
I don't
So
know.
what do we do with all this meat now that we cut it off? And do we keep like the fur? Can we do that?
It requires some extra work, but it's doable.
Do we need it?
No.
I mean, it's still spring and it's pretty warm here, right?
It's still fall now, and it's
Is it-
quite chilly,
It's
but it's
fall.
not cold.
We
Yes.
need to start
It
stockpiling.
looks like it's fall in this dimension, at least.
Yeah,
Maybe we do want to keep the fur. Cause
Yeah.
or do we have any like coats and anything like?
Yeah, sure. The corridor with the racks just outside the entrance is fully stocked with outwear.
I could try and cure the, I could take care of the fur and stuff, but it's a lot of work
Okay, well,
and it smells really bad. Worse than this.
I won't force you.
Cool.
Oh, I suppose we finish that up, and afterwards I'd like to go and have a look at the shed.
Well, I suggest you clean up first.
Yeah.
We clean up without trying to use too much water.
Yeah. So you take a towel and make it wet in the shower, and you just go to work. You can take a new set of clothing from your wardrobe. There was several that will fit you. I mean, in the room you woke up in, there was basically your clothing in the wardrobe. Things that you would feel comfortable wearing, even if not the exactly same things that you have in your private apartment back wherever it was.
Yeah. Well, I try and also like clean up the clothes a bit and leave it to dry. Like if there's any kind of place outside to hang it.
You could,
Take out a chair and.
yeah, or you could just draw a line between two trees. There's a line that will work for that. A bit of rope, probably for tying meat or something like that in the kitchen. But you can just apply it to whatever.
Yeah. Well, I guess I take care of those kind of matters, and I'll let Patrick check out the shed or whatever it was he wanted to do.
All right, just checking if everybody's doing what they want to be doing. I mean, does anybody want to say something before we go over to Patrick's exploring of the shed? The shed dimension. No. No, everybody's fine. All right. So Torsten walks out after he's cleaned up. He walks outside. Oh, by the way, Raphael, do you start working on the decoding, or what are you doing?
Yes.
You're working on the decoding. So where do you do that?
In my room.
All right. You're rolling a formidable difficulty. So it's really fucking insanely difficult. You could say that. But you do have a lot of assets that will help you. Like, for example, your computer and probably some skill, and also the fact that you're working on this alone. If I bring your character sheet up for myself. Raphael, okay. So you have your deep thinker, right? And figuring out puzzles or problems, memorizing capabilities. Or using it decreased by one step. So we'll decrease it by one step just from your deep thinker, which decreases it to 6, making it possible to accomplish. Then you have skills. Oh, right, that. Computer programming. Well, that's what I can give you for now. So
I would just like to mention that this kind of problem probably falls into natural language processing, which is a part of computer science. And linguistics also, but up
do you
to
have
you.
linguistics?
No, not linguistics, but yeah.
Well, actually, you can get a bonus from computer programming.
Just
Nope,
Correct.
the other camera. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I'm actually allowing you to use computer programming for this. And you
okay.
can spend the effort. Don't forget the effort to translating it.
How much effort can I?
One level.
Well, as a tier 1 character, you can only spend 1 level.
Okay, so then I will have 15 intellect afterwards.
Uh,
Or because we haven't rested yet. And I spent 1 the last session.
yeah, you have edge 1, and spending the first point of effort costs 3, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it'll cost you 2.
Yeah, so you'll have 14 intellect after you're done.
Okay.
Are you doing that then?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
so we're decreasing the difficulty from 7 by 3. That brings it down to 4.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're rolling you need to roll 12 or higher. So it takes you an hour. You're gonna need to do this a couple of times before it won't take you an hour to just learn this language, but you start understanding like some of the symbols. It's much more complex than our language. It's much more older. So they use a little bit more of a system similar to Chinese or any other Asian alphabet when they use, you don't use letters, you use bits of pieces and graphic to build a compound sign, which then builds a word. What you do
Looks
get...
like this.
Sorry?
It looks like this.
Could possibly look like that. So what you start getting is the feeling that it's a command line interface, because it's just structured like one. Like it asks the user for input regularly in between of whatever output it presented. So that was an hour of your time, and let's go back to Torsten. So you walk outside, and Megan mentioned the shed. So which way around the house do you go?
I take the right way.
I'm gonna say that you're going right, so this way. So you walk around the house, and you're now on the back, and you notice the electrical box, and then you must actually walk a little bit more around the house to get to the shed. So you do that. So this is like a somebody attached to the side of the wall. It's not part of the original building, probably. You know, it's already been opened, so you can peek inside. And there's some rakes, there's an axe, there's a garden hose. You can see that it's attached to a faucet, work gloves, just the usual sort of stuff that you can find in a shed. There's some firewood.
How does the... is there like a lawn outside the house? Is it like cut grass, or is it long grass? Does it look like
It's
the house
wild
has been-
grass, so it's mostly moss, actually, covered with leaves. It doesn't seem like it's ever been either cultivated or had any upkeep. It seems natural. Though it is fairly even ground around the house, and then starts being more bumpy like a natural surface would be.
Okay, well that's good to know. The electrical box. Could you please describe that a bit? Just so, is it like a generator? Is it a...
No, it's more like a fuse box. So there's a bunch of cables coming out of the walls on the building. So imagine this is the backside of the building. So there's actually just like this small bathroom window here. Otherwise, no windows on this side. The cables are like typical electrical cables you would see in any normal household. They're bolted to the wall using these little plastic things, and some of the thicker ones are used with metal. They've been painted over white, and all they go into this electrical box. The electrical box has a normal warning sign, electricity, you know, the normal warning signs you see in the country of your origin. No, I mean international signs. There's a little door on the electrical box. It uses a square key, which is sort of standard, and then there's a thick black rubber cable going out from the bottom of it, going into the ground, just below it. It's on what's it called, waist height, more or less.
I see if it's unlocked.
It is actually locked, but that just requires you. It's not locked; it's closed, so it requires a handle.
A handle.
Yeah, I mean the square keys, they don't actually have teeth or anything like that. It's more of a standard key that literally has. It's. Imagine if you had a screwdriver with one of these square ends.
Okay, you mean like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't.
But I can't. But it is in fact locked. So I can't just open it with my hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, exactly.
But there's no like locking mechanism. It's like a little thing that you just.
Yeah.
With that, yeah.
I mean, as far as you know, you can't see on the inside.
Oh well. I.
You could
Yes,
just
I don't.
take a piece of, like a stick and whittle it into so it's slightly square, and then jam it in and try and turn. If you don't find anything that would fit.
But I figured I would go inside and see if I actually find the key in a drawer or something. Well, I walk the rest of the lap around the house, so I've taken a full lap, and then I go in.
So you search the house for the key, right?
Yep.
There was actually, now that you think about it, a little. I don't know how you call that in English. A little key box house. You know, like kids make in carpentry shops. Right.
By the door.
By the door. You look through it, and there you actually do find the key.
Is there any more keys there?
Yeah, there's one more. There's 3 sets of keys. They are all identical, and they look like they would fit the same lock that the key that you found in your room. However, when you examine them, you do get a very distinct, different feeling from them. When you touch the key in your room, it felt very special, whilst these items feel mundane and normal pieces of metal.
Well, I take one of the mundane keys and the square key. Go out back, see if the square key works.
Yeah, it fits perfectly. You open the electrical box.
Yep.
And there's all the connections. You know, I'm not an electrician, but there's probably a transistor or something that transforms the form of electricity. Yeah, I know that you transport electricity on large distances with direct current, I think, and then you switch it to alternating current for appliances within the household.
So you also have a higher voltage, I think, because it's during distances the voltage sort of naturally decreases.
So yeah, you have probably some transistors, probably some amplifiers or whatever, condensers, or I don't really know what that stuff is called.
Is there a counter?
What's a counter?
Like showing how much electricity we spent.
Oh, a counter like that? No, there's no counter.
Okay. Everything seems to be working and humming and like...
Yeah, you don't want to put your finger in it considering that the whole house is powered. So all of these connections here from the house are connected to the main power line, which is the rubber cable that exited at the bottom of the box and went to the ground.
Okay. Well,
weren't you working on the theory that we were already dead anyway? Touch it, touch it.
Yes, I lick the connection. No.
Dead.
No. Draw a new character.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I have nothing in like electricity or electrician skill, so I'm just gonna assume that this looks like it's normal and working. So close this back, and then when I go back to the front door, I want to see.
So on your way to the front door, you trip.
Ow!
You notice that when you were just walking away, your foot got caught in that rubber cable that was sticking out from the ground a little bit. So apparently it doesn't go straight down or anything, but it's just sort of like below the moss. And you caught your foot on it and fell over. Well, lost your balance.
Yeah. Okay, well, I carefully try to uncover some of the moss around it. What direction is it going? Like straight away from the house, or
straight away from the house?
Okay, well, interesting. That's something at least. I try to uncover the moss for a few meters and see if it keeps going.
How many meters do you go?
Let's
More or
say
less.
10.
All right. 10 meters is actually a fairly long distance, so it takes you a little bit while, but I mean, it's not harder than just pulling this big cable out of the ground. 10, exactly 10 meters. Just when you're about to give up, you notice that you can't pull the cable any further. You look what's blocking it, and actually, right here, it's attached to the edge of a concrete structure. You tear away a little bit of the moss, and it's like it's a sewer hatch right here. It was covered completely by moss, so you couldn't see any of it. But the cable goes in to the side of it, and it's like well, it's the size of a sewer cover. So it's like, what is that? Is that like half a meter wide, or? Yeah, I mean, it's wide enough for a person to go down in, and the concrete is like 10 centimeters extra around it. The sewer is a little bit rusty.
Okay, well, is the lid openable? Can I is it like a hatch that I can open with a handle, or is it one of those cast iron things that you need to have those sort of keys for and then lift away, or?
It's one of those cast iron things that you sort of need to have a good grip on to be able to lift, and probably a muscle or two in your body.
Interesting. Well, I uncover as much moss as...
You're way too comfortable.
I actually think it's awesome.
I remove most of the moss that blocks the manhole, and then and then I go back to the house. I want to see if the other mundane key fits in like the outer door. If I can like lock.
It does actually fit.
Excellent.
Now set the house on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck! Take all the keys, lock, Molotov.
There's windows, but what the fuck anyway?
No.
I know, but still.
Hey, for all we know, everyone else is aliens.
Now I only need that picture, like aliens. Well, I go back. I found something.
Oh?
Yeah, the electrical cable from the power box goes out into what looks like a sewer or something, a sewer drainage. There's a big manhole, like 10 meters from the house.
Oh, then that might mean we have water.
Yeah, or like a crocodile infestation.
Hey, this is New York. So if I feel like clean enough, I don't bring my sword. It feels that we're going to be in too tight quarters for that to be useful. Well, I don't want to just not do anything. I don't want to really think too much about possibly being dead and being lost and having cameras. So let's go do something. I go to the bottom of the stairs and I shout out like, "Hey, Raphael!"
Well, they did just meet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what made it so awesome. Like, hey,
Hey, I said to call you Ralph.
Sure.
We found something. You want to join us on this mission of?
Exploration.
Yeah, I walked down to the crowd.
So Torsten found what looks like a sewer system.
There's a manhole 10 meters behind the house.
Yeah.
Also, Game Master, you said I found 3 sets of keys.
Or 4. I'm a bit.
Yes, there's 4 of us. There's
everyone
3 sets.
check their pockets. Does anyone else actually already have a key?
I
thing?
thought, yes.
Alright, who has a key? Like that.
Probably you, Megan.
No, you, Torsten, obviously. You found one in your room and then you found 3 extra.
Yes!
It looks like a...
Exactly like that. Fantastic. Well, I
That's pretty
hand out
funny.
the 3 mundane keys to the others.
Thanks.
Like, I found some house keys.
Well, I asked Tolson to lead the way to the manhole.
I
Not
bravely
that it's gonna be
lead
not,
the way.
not that it's that difficult because there's a fucking cable that's what, like this thick.
Yeah.
now that you've
Unearthed
took it
it.
out, yeah, unearthed it.
So, Torsten, it does occur to you that you can maybe grab something from the shed.
Yeah. Well, they just wanted to see it, so we go there like,
Alright, fine.
there. And I see if there's actually any of those like manhole uncover thingies inside the shed.
So no,
Okay.
this isn't actually a manhole uncover, which is a...
Well, yeah, there's like a key, and then basically it's a like pipe with a like bendy thing, and you take it down, you twist them like 90 degrees, and then lift.
Exactly. So there isn't exactly that, but there's stuff that maybe you can make do. There's like
Crowbar.
Let's go with a crowbar. It feels a little bit more sane. There was a crowbar in the shed.
Yeah.
Oh, I take the crowbar, a couple of working gloves.
We all go like, ah, now we see it. You are a thief. What's the crowbar missing?
Do you say this? Please say what you actually say this.
I think I do, but I'm not loud enough, so I actually want anyone to hear. I'm like making a joke to myself.
If I hear it, I like.
Oh shoot! I was going for the Morgan, for the what's his name, Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
No, not Morgan
Actually,
Freeman.
Gordon Freeman.
Gordon Freeman. That's his name. I was going for the Gordon Freeman look. Oh well, I hand one of the tools to Volkov.
He's nodding.
Dimitri?
You can see it.
Hand him a pair of gloves and like help me here.
So the thing is, those things are fucking heavy. So your tools are sort of no?
I mean, if you have the right tool, I mean, I see
Which
people
you
do it by
don't,
themselves.
exactly.
I mean, people do it by themselves, and I've seen people who aren't particularly big do it. But
For the
they're
sake
not
of my
easy to do.
scenario,
they're not
this
easy
is
to do
very
if
heavy.
you have the right tool. And this could be like a really old-timey cast iron manhole cover, and those things are probably super heavy.
That's what I'm imagining. It is incredibly heavy. So the thing is, this isn't a difficult thing, but it's gonna be strenuous. So anybody that's working with it will require at least 2 people, but you're gonna lose 1 point of might, or was it? Is it might, right?
Yes.
Yeah, by attempting to lift it.
Well, I can spend a point of might because I don't have to because I have 1 in might edge. Ah!
I'll spend a point in might as well.
Yeah.
And I don't have edge. Oh.
So you guys shove in the sharp sticks that you found into the openings in the manhole cover, and you help each other out a little bit. And that thing weighs probably like an adult human being.
So I make sure to tell Tolsten to move it to the opposite side from the cable, so we don't accidentally destroy it and cut electricity to the house.
That's smart.
Do we check so the cable doesn't actually just continue on the other side? It's like, ah, damn.
Well, you did that then, whilst they were preparing and talking themselves up to the tasks. Well, it's heavy and it's very uncomfortable and it really made you sweat, but you managed to lift it up just enough to sort of push it off. And the smell of what you would call molded sewer strikes you guys, and you look down.
Made the sewage. There's no one here.
I didn't say sewage. I said sewer.
Yeah.
You look down into the sort of dark and damp hole, and to your surprise, there's light down there, and you can make out, well, stone, and hear the trickle of water.
So one.
Is there anybody down there?
This is starting to remind me more and more of Lost.
You shut up.
Did we find any kind of flashlights?
No, but every iPhone has a flashlight.
Yeah, but I prefer a dedicated flashlight because it will last longer.
Also, we probably shouldn't spend the battery power of our phones.
You can
You know-
just charge them.
Did we actually get chargers as well?
Well, I'm sure that Zol, I mean, Raphael's computer had a thing, and what's it called? An adapter. And you guys had most of the usual stuff, so there's chargers.
Okay.
I'm saying there's chargers. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm still saying also a flashlight gives a better light than it because it's a dedicated flashlight.
There were like
Well,
two
I'll see if
flashlights
there's
in the
something in the
kitchen.
shed.
No, there were two flashlights in the kitchen, you know, like for when the power cuts out. Like these standard Duracell, like two.
Is there a?
Oh yeah, of course there's a ladder.
Yeah.
There's metal, what do you call them, rods, which are bent into ladder steps and are attached to the wall. The tunnel itself is concrete, and then the lower, you know, you shine a little bit of light once you have it down there, and the lower it goes, the more sort of damp and molded and algae infected it gets.
This actually, I don't know. I like that. It calms me down a bit because the chimney had never been used, so the house felt like it was like super new, like IKEA just put it up there. But the sewage system is older in that case. So
Also, you remember you were looking at something like a watch or clock. It seems to be molded out of one piece and not actually put together, which was super upsetting.
Yes.
Unsettling.
yes, perhaps. So this suddenly starts to feel like passage
It's
of
okay.
time. This is like a real thing.
Well, I say I'm glad I have gloves. Were there more gloves in the shed? It looks pretty gross to the touch.
Well, that's entirely up to the game master. How many
Yeah, there's 4 sets of working gloves in the shed.
Well, I can go down first.